Alright, about to pull out my spark plugs so I can put some Marvel Mystery Oil in this thing. Hood prop's kind of neat the way it works, but also it's a little sketchy because it's done bent the hood. Okay, so about to pull these spark plugs out, and we're going to put some Marvel Mystery Oil in them. Could use PB Blaster or something like that, but I'm going to try this. I think some people use it, and it says right on the can, upper cylinder lubricant. You're supposed to put this in your gas, but we're going to put some in here and see if that helps loosen her up. It does appear to be stuck, so this is our first attempt of doing anything to try to get the engine rolling over. Alright, let me adjust a little bit. There we go. Now, I did already spray these plugs the other day. I might need to do them again though. These are cast iron head. I think the B210 motors are aluminum head, but I'm not for sure on that. Oh, that's nice. Numbers on the plug wires. Number 3 looks pretty crusty. There's 2. Well, I might have to have some plug wires. I'm sure we'll have to take the distributor cap. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull that off real quick. Off and see what that looks like. Cool. This is kind of an odd piece to me. I've never... So what do you do here? Change the cap and the wires together? That's different. Huh. Yeah, that looks nice and crusty too. Okay, right now we're just concerned with getting him to turn. Pressure washed under here the other day, so. Alright, come on now. The ratchet don't want to cooperate. Sometimes you can take it, smack him just a little bit. Works better than just trying to give you the old heave-ho. Be nice if I had a bore scope so where I could look down in here. I got one somewhere, but it's kind of crappy, and so I didn't really keep up with it. Maybe I should say I had one. I want to get me a nice one. Need something to, oops, knock that dirt out from so it don't go down in there. This little pick. Last thing we need is more crap in the cylinders. Clean out around these before I start to turn them. Boy, I believe that's the rustiest set of Champions I've ever seen. I always like the Champion plugs because they're galvanized and they resist rust. But that doesn't mean they can't rust. It just takes them longer. Of course, these have probably been in here for 40 years. Another a long reach plug. Okay, that one doesn't look horrible. It's got a little green crud on it, corrosion. A little rust inside, so it doesn't look great, but it could be worse. Like I say, I wished I could see down in that cylinder. Maybe I can take my phone light and see something. Well, I can see the piston. Some kind of white crud on it, so definitely not good, but not seeing a ton of rust either, so let's get them all out of here and hope for the best. My dad gave me this halfway working ratchet here. Oops. Yeah, I sprayed some stuff on them. Because they're kind of squeaking and creaking as they're coming out, so. An extension would be nice. I also find this very odd. The oil filter is actually upside down on this engine. My first time messing with the 1300. I'm very familiar with the L series, but alright. Don't like how stubborn that one's being. Oh well, it's black and a little rust in there. I may have to get some plugs before I even attempt to fire it up. But we gotta get him spinning first. As long as this one's been sitting, yeah, I usually like to fire them up first, but as long as this one's been sitting, I may even change the oil before I attempt to fire it up. Hate to put money into an engine that you don't know if it's salvageable or not, so we're going to get him to turn first. But once I get him turning, I may go ahead and do the oil. Well, a little surface rust around the ring. Still black though. So far, number one is the worst looking one I pulled out. But the fact that there's any kind of rust or corrosion present in the cylinder is not a good sign. Okay, at least these plugs are not being so stubborn as number two was. We'll spin on out. Ew. I don't like that green stuff on that one. And the rust ring around there too. Not the greatest signs, but I mean pretty much what I expected to see of an engine that's been sitting with the hood up for who knows how long. And hadn't been on the road in 36 years. 36 years, 1988. Okay, got me a little flashlight. I'm going to try to see down in there. See if I can see. Well, I see a lot of carbon. A little corrosion on the piston. Oh, lots of crud. I'm trying to see a cylinder wall. Ah, there's a cylinder wall. Well, from what I can see, that one doesn't look terrible. I see some shiny. Oh yeah. There's a little light surface rust, but I don't see any pits or any major. Don't look like there's been any water in the engine. The air filter was present, so that's very good. So I can't see much, but what I can see looks promising. So we're going to put some Marvel in here and let that sit. Like I say, I could just shoot some PB in there, but this is actually specifically for upper cylinder lubrication. So to me, this seems like a better bet. I've never really tried this before. Usually, like I say, I use some PB or, you know, pour some regular motor oil in it. Alright, let's see, what are we on here? 15 ounces, and down here's 12. So I'm going to try and put about an ounce or so in each. Okay. Just enough that it can go down around the piston good. I'll check it again with the flashlight and see if it looks like enough. But I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to do about an ounce in each. I mean, sure, I could fill them all the way up, but there's not really any need for that. We just want the oil to get in there and soak in around the piston and the rings and hopefully free her up. Okay. I'm going to look at it and see. I may put some more in there. We're going to try and peek back in there and see what that looks like. Oh, I can see that cylinder wall now. It looks good. And it looks like we've got about maybe a 1/4 inch of oil on top of the piston with that. Well, maybe not quite. Can't really see that one. I'm going to put a little bit more in them, especially number 3, but I'm going to just go ahead and put a little more in all of them. Because if it soaks down in around the piston, that'll be great. That's what we want it to do. We're getting some in this top of the cylinders as well. Will also be helpful. Now we tried pulling this thing with the truck winch, and I put it in gear, and it didn't even try to turn the motor. It didn't slide the tires, so I'm assuming the clutch is gone. And I'm also going to assume that that's why it got parked. What I was told by the guy I got it from, who talked to the original owner's son, is the main reason that the truck got parked is because he bought a new truck, a 1985 720. But the last tag on this is from '88. So I'd say he used this one as kind of more of a secondary, you know, still old farm truck, you know, you know, backup just for hauling hay bales or whatever, so he didn't get his new truck dirty until something gave out on this one. And I'm going to say it's the clutch. Alright, let me look at that again. Oh, left my flashlight on. Now number 1 is up pretty high, so I can't see a whole lot in there. I can definitely see the oil is all over the top of the piston. That's what we want. Now number 2 here, you get the light situated just right. Yeah, it's definitely on top of all over the top of the piston and over to the cylinder walls. Ooh, I can see the red there. Oh, there's even a clean spot on the piston there. Oh, that's looking good. I can't see nothing but oil back there. Now, I have yet to find this thing's going to take a very large socket on that crank, and then I also need to get the remnants of the fan shroud and the radiator out of the way. Somebody stole the radiator at some point for the scrap, obviously, because they took a chisel or pry bar or something, just went down the sides of the end plates and just pried it loose from the mounting. So I need to spray these bolts while I'm in here. So the actual radiator mounts are still bolted to the truck. Well, that one's backwards. So I'm going to try to unbolt them so the bolts don't come out, and I may have to take the cutting wheel to them. Alright, what else can I do here? Take and shake him a little with the plastic fan. Yeah, that'll turn it. Not. Yeah, the points are cruded, but they look like they could be cleaned, I would say. We'll get to that later. Once it's spinning. That's first priority, spinning. Okay, now I'm going to, just a thread or two, start these plugs back in here. Just because we live on a creek here, and mud daubers love anything, any kind of hole to build in. So we don't want mud daubers getting in there. I doubt they would with that oil in there, but just to be safe, we're just gonna start them in there a thread or two just to keep the cylinders sealed up. So that's all there is to see for now, because well, that oil's got to sit there and do its job. That's why I'm doing it this morning while you know, I've got other stuff to do today. All right, well, it's been soaking most of the day, so finally found a socket that'll fit it, and got a ratchet here. I'm going to try and pull him a little bit, but if that don't work, I'll have to get under there and push him with my foot. I turned something, but I think it was just the bolt where you probably loosened it.
I loosened it while ago. I believe it moved.
The bolt's moving some.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to break the bolt off in the crank either.
No. No. I have to take the starter off.
Yeah, I was going to say I might have to take the starter off so we can get in the flywheel teeth.
Get something back here in this fire too, and might turn it.
Well, that other one I got on there with my foot and just, but I'm turning the bolt, but I'm afraid to turn on it. Of course, that's a big ass bolt for this little ass crankshaft. It won't take me much to get the starter off. I need to
No, I believe I'd do that.
Zip that ratchet and do that. I'll try and Not looking good so far.
No.
Well, it's definitely been a minute on this one. Actually, it's been a couple months. But I've been soaking it and fooling with it and having a bar on the crank. Didn't do nothing. And I actually got it moved out here next to the garage now. I pulled the starter off and the alternator off in order to get to the flywheel teeth. And between me having the bar and my dad got in there with the little pry bar, well, actually a tire tool, in the flywheel teeth, and we have actually got it to where it will turn just a little bit. And it'll turn back. It's not much, but it's a start. I need to move my hood prop here to a little better location maybe. May just take the hood off. I don't really want to. There we go. And also I ended up finding a breaker bar instead of the ratchet so that I can go back and forth without having to switch it. The key is, once you get it to break loose and move it all, you just got to keep working back and forth. You might gain a little bit here and there, but you don't just try to keep going in one direction, because you'll end up stuck in another spot. Well, need to jump back up. See if I can do it without the handle. Let's see, let me go back that way. Yeah, a little tougher without the extra pipe. It's moving off of this pretty good.
Yeah. Well, once you get him started moving.
Oh yeah.
It went a little further, I believe.
Went a lot further that time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work that spot a little more and then I'll have to catch another notch. Oh yeah.
It even went further this way.
Yep. Ah.
Yeah, you might can turn it without the bar.
Ah.
It didn't go all the way down.
Warm for a November day.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try going back that way. Let's get you another notch. This way. Uh-oh.
Caught.
Yeah, got a tough spot. Feels kind of scrubby in places.
Yeah, well, it will.
Whew.
We get to where it'll turn.
Especially right there.
That's probably where it was sinking at. catch another hole.
Yeah, let's catch another notch. See if it'll go around any further.
Hold on a minute. Get that belt loose so that keep that thing from keep beating my fingers.
Whew.
This belt's stuck in the groove.
Yeah, it's stuck to the water pump pulley.
Now it'll quit beating.
I was gonna say, will it come out of the crank pulley?
Yeah.
Piece of that stayed in the water pump pulley. That
Yeah,
water pump
well.
pulley is shot.
I'll probably clean it up, but
I don't think so. It's
take grinder.
well, maybe. Looks pretty rough though.
Well, what?
What is this? The 3rd of November,
Yeah.
and what do we got? About 75 degrees or better out here in the sun.
I don't know, it's warm.
Pretty warm. $80. Well, no, it changed. High today's 77. Says it's currently 73.
Yeah. Okay.
That's more movement than it's.
More
God.
moving than it had.
Yeah, because it wasn't moving at all. So that's doing pretty good. Whether it'll ever run or not, is yet to be seen. But got to get him spinning first. The starter looks pretty good.
You know.
And I can turn it.
You know what they say? A sorry engine won't stick, but a good one will.
Yeah. Well, that laying in the back of the other truck's not stuck, but the rocker arm's all off of it where the valves is closed. Yeah. These are different. I thought these was the same thing as the B210 engines. They're different though. I got to looking at them. They look similar at first glance, but the motor mounts is further forward, and I think that's the same thing as the L20B bell housing. I'm not for sure on that. You'd have to change the motor mounts, but I want it to run with this engine.
Yeah,
because that's
if we can.
Well, that's the uniqueness of the 1300 is the engine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the next year model 70 had the 1600 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of on the fender there, this one says 1300, the 70 said 1600.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got him going in the right direction anyhow.
Well,
it went to the bottom.
Yeah, I know it. Alright. I'll wrestle him some more here. Let's see, let me catch over here a little more.
If I hold it up on there, it keeps it from jumping off when you change directions. Back in. Okay.
It got a little easier. I think we may have made a full rotation.
No, we ain't made a full rotation
Don't
yet.
think so?
But the piston that was tight probably made it to the top and started back down.
Well, something got easier.
I believe we got a valve catching it or something. I heard it sound like a valve click back.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. So we may be bumping a valve.
So I probably need to get the valve cover off.
We might ought to pull the cover off and make sure the valves ain't stuck.
Okay.
Because when it's stuck open and we hitting it, we might bend it.
Yeah. Let's see if I can go back the other way in. Well, it went back pretty easy.
Because I heard something sound like...
I heard that clicking and clanking there.
In the valve train.
Well, I hadn't had any luck getting that air filter off so far.
What's it?
It's probably going to be a vice grip. I think you done tried your pliers before. Yeah, that ain't gonna do it.
Spray it some more. I believe it turned.
It sprays just about out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find some vice grip. I got a bit there. I got a bigger one here.
Oh, okay.
But I got to get this air filter out of the way first. I couldn't find a socket right off, but I got a wrench, which may be better so I can turn it back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's set the lid in the back.
You don't stay in there.
Yeah, pull that little sleeve and slide it on back.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, them's pretty greasy, so they're coming out pretty good.
These come out easy.
Well, that's good. There again, they probably greasy and
They're a
oily.
little greasy.
I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get this thing to turn or not.
Well, that's what you said about that other that
Well,
time, too.
I know. And this one was a little more stubborn, though.
Yeah.
So we got the other one loose in a day or so. This one I've been fiddling with for a couple of months. On and off. Now, I don't. Is there one in down behind the carburetor?
Yeah.
You'll
have to have a screwdriver free.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. 6 more minutes. 7 minutes. You only record like 30 minutes at a time. This is a Philip, but I mean a flat. But, it's going to do the trick.
We're done with our socket to fit in.
Well, now that's different. Check
What?
out that vacuum line going to the distributor. It's steel.
Yeah. Well, it's old.
Ooh, that don't look good.
It don't.
That don't look good at all.
It don't. That's stuck.
None seem to be moving too good.
That one's stuck. That one's free. That one's free.
Yeah.
That one's free. It's that one and that one. The back one's
both
free.
are number 4, ain't they?
No, one's on 3 and one's on 4.
This one's
one
good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the open position, isn't it?
Yeah. I got another pin. See if I'm getting anything worth.
Get my precision valve adjusting tool here.
Some more pictures in a minute.
Easy.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
tap it a little and see if it'll start working. That ought to be free now.
That's good.
It took a whole lot.
Let me peck on him a little more. I actually drove this one down quite a bit.
Ah, she come up.
It did?
Yeah, it popped.
Let me see your thing. I don't think it did all the way.
It didn't all the way, but it popped.
See if we can get him in there like this.
That thing's rounded out. It probably ain't gonna do it. See, this is rounded.
Yeah. The jarring effect might.
You come up some.
He's pretty tough.
little pressure.
Came back up some, but it ain't wanting to return fully. Needs some more stuff. Let me go see if I can find any.
Okay.
Well, I ain't got no more blaster. I got a little dab of WD here. Let's try that. Try and get it up here as high as I can. Let's actually spread it down. There.
It come back up a little bit, but
That's probably the cylinder that was stuck worse.
I'd say it is.
Too bad I didn't have my bore scope where I could look down in there. Might not want to see what's down in there. Let me get this valve cover bolt. Ah, dang it. Well, or not. Just knock it down there somewhere. It's on.
Yeah.
Here, hold on. Get him on top of that. Ah, it's dead. Uh-oh.
Oh,
It popped.
should have come up a little bit when it popped.
That's a lot of pressure for that little old valve. This is not looking promising.
Well, we know it ain't gonna turn past that.
At least those valves look like they go pretty straight down, so if it did hit it a while ago, it shouldn't have.
Shouldn't have hurt it. A good crowbar you can put in there the other way. Pull it, but these where they're rounded out,
Yeah.
it won't.
Well, if the valve's that stuck, there's no way it's ever going to run. If it does run at all, it won't run right. It'll have to at least have the head pulled and do a valve job, probably, to be worth a darn. And if I was going to do that, I'll probably pull the whole thing out and tear it down and at least hone them cylinders, because you know they're going to have some rust in there. But at least getting it to where it'll spin, you can tear it down. If you can't turn it, you can't even tear it down. Well, it'd be like that Fiat that was stuck and I went to tear it down and one piston come out in chunks. So at least there, you know, there is that much progress. But I just, from the looks of the top of it, all that crud and crust in there, and then this valve stuck that bad. Even if we could get that valve closed again, there's no way those valves are going to seat. Because I've had them that'll spin good and valves won't seat enough to get good compression from sitting. So
I know.
sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But I'd say this is more likely a won't. Okay, got the intake off. We're gonna see if we can get the head off. Oh, I think it's gonna go pretty good, hopefully. Ow. At least it being a push rod engine, I can't get my socket on that one.
Yeah.
If we pull the head off, you ain't got to worry about the timing.
Yeah.
Like on the overhead cam engines where you got to have that wooden wedge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I feel like it's going to end up eventually having to come out and go through the whole thing to make it. Well, I mean, that would be the best thing to do to make it decent.
I'm gonna find something to get on that.
That should do it, if it'll turn it. They wasn't hard to get broke. Now that one took the stud out.
Yeah. Probably a washer on there.
Let me see here. Well, how you like that? I would like that. Those came off, no problem.
Yeah.
Water necks can always be tricky. Now the mice has been in there. Of course, that radiator hose was open, so
Yeah,
no big
they've been
surprise
in the
there.
hose.
And I dropped the socket under the truck again.
You
Let's
can
see, back here behind the tire.
you can use the big wrench on it now.
Oh yeah. Break it loose.
Let me have the socket. Go ahead and break the back one down there. I don't think you got it, did you?
No, must have missed it too. Okay, that ought to have them all broke loose. Seem to be turning pretty well. Don't dent my fender now. That one was a little rustier next to that water neck.
This one may be a little tough up here top where we're going to try it again.
Yeah. Yeah, looked like we didn't hurt it. I seen it move. How'd it do that? We still got head studs.
The
Rocker arms pushing up on it.
Yeah.
But this ain't off yet. It's gonna jump off there by itself.
We need to take these off and get them rocker arms out.
You do?
Yeah.
Why can't they just stay with the head?
Because it'd be a whole lot easier. We got to lift it way up here to get them rocker arms out.
Oh, you mean the push rods?
The push rods.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay. That makes sense.
That's smaller, I think.
Where's your little black socket? It should be. Yeah, because everything's ain't been no 12s on this, and hardly it's all been 13.
These ought to come out easy.
Yeah, maybe.
Now them, we really need to kind of
Keep in order.
instead of loosening one all the way. Ain't as bad as a regular cam.
Yeah, it ain't gonna hurt it. Now the head's set back down.
That's where your pressure was.
Yeah.
Okay. That ought to come off now.
Now, this bolt, one last bolt will come out. Oh, well hell. I thought it really tightened up. But
Probably broke the stud loose.
it did, I think. No? No? Well, yeah. Yeah, that's what it done. Other one. Too much grease on your fingers. Okay. So at least it all came apart.
Yep.
We got a little temperature sender wire there. Take that loose. With my fingers. Look at that little bitty connectors. And this, you got the thing loose, but
we're gonna have to get that off there because that's got to come straight up off them heads.
yeah.
We're gonna take it loose back there at the back too.
Hold on, let me get it unstuck and it'll probably go. There we go. Alright.
Now lift them rocker arms off. And it shouldn't matter which place them push rods goes. They appear to be the same length.
Yeah. Man, I believe that's one of the more nasty engines I've got into.
Yeah, it's nasty.
So even if we could have made it to turn,
It needed to come
it
down.
needs to come down to be clean before you try to run it, because
Yeah.
all that stuff would.
All that would went down and went
Get
right
down
through
in
your
there.
bearing.
Some interesting push rods. They're rounded on the bottom, rounded on the
Cup
top.
and the top. That's the way most of them are. Your
But
old,
they-
that's the way your old stuff all was.
Right, but they're solid.
Yeah.
You know, Chevrolet and stuff is hollow and oil goes up through them. These
Yeah.
are solid.
Well, this is old school.
I wonder how it oils.
Up through the rocker arm,
Yeah.
through this little hole right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Might have to find some shop towels. Hold on. Yeah.
See that little hole right there?
Oh, okay.
That's your oil hole. Can you get it, or do I need to help a little bit here?
Let's see. Hold on. Let me get a hold of it. See if I can get a hold of it. Push that carburetor over. There we go. All right. Yeah. Yeah, let's dump the dirt out. So yeah, that's definitely not what you want your cylinder head to look like. But there's our stuck valve, and oh boy, does that port look like crap too. So yeah, this definitely gonna need a valve job. But the inside of the engine actually looks better than I thought it would.
Yeah. I think 2 and 3 was at the top,
Yeah,
or almost.
a little bit of rust in number 4 back there, it looks like.
Yeah. 2 and 3 feels all right. 1 has got a little bit in it down here.
Let me get in here and get a look at it. Looks like enough grease off my hands. Go a little free style mode here. So, there's definitely some junk down in there, but the cylinder walls themselves, number 4 is the roughest.
And it ain't that bad.
No, it's got some surface rust in it, but for as much hard as it was stuck, I'm surprised it don't look worse than that actually. So worst case scenario, I think we can probably take her down and run a home through it and clean them up and put them back, because let's see here. Well, I don't know, that's a pretty good wear ring in there.
Yeah, it'd be alright.
Yeah, if I do pull it out and tear it down, I probably will go ahead and rebuild it. Ain't no telling how many miles is on it. These things don't have the 100,000 mark, so. But
Put your bar on there and see.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Let's see how she turns now. I'll turn easy now, because you ain't turning the valve train. Well, the camshaft, but not the... Well, not exactly easy. Alright, that's got number 4 all the way down.
It was part way up.
Yeah.
Need one of those knobby hones.
Bottle brush.
Ball brush, yeah.
Yeah.
Run through there.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of loose crud from the intake and all, where we've been messing with it and jarring it,
Yeah.
but
It's not that
that
rusty.
cylinder don't look bad at all.
I think it would clear up.
Yeah, I think that'll run. Hell, you might just need to take some fine grit sandpaper and go down there
That or
around
one
it.
of those. You had one of those knobby.
I ain't got one that small.
Yeah.
That's what, maybe a 3-inch piston, if that.
3 ain't even quite 3.
About 2 3/4.
It may have a little bit in it.
Yeah.
I don't think 2 and 3 is going to have anything, because they was pretty much up.
I mean, it's got some speckles of surface rust, but a little bit worse on that side. How was it that stuck and ain't no rustier than that? That's crazy. I was expecting it to be pretty much shot as stuck as it was.
Yeah.
Of course, like you say, that other one, once we got it turning and it runs good. And it was stuck pretty bad. I had to get down on the ground and kick the crap out of the bar we had on the crank. I never did try that with this one, but we had leverage and it wasn't going until we got that flywheel off and was able to help a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, so the intake's going to have to come apart and be cleaned. Huh. It's got little steel sleeves inside the intake. Oh, there's my valve cover bolt. Put that in the little cup.
The others is over there.
Oh, okay. I'll gather all my bolts up. So, valve job, and I think it'd be all right. I'll have to find something to cover that up.
Yeah.
Probably clean it up and put some tape over it.
Once we get them cleaned up and all, till there's nothing dragging up here. If it's still dragging hard, there's something wrong with the crank. It's a possibility. I know you don't want to hear that.
Well, I got the other one.
Something's making it turn hard.
Yeah, I got the other one down there.
Yeah.
So
I know. It may be just this yet.
Yeah, at least between the two of them, I might can build an engine.
Yeah.
This one I have checked the numbers. It's the original engine to the truck, which I pretty much expected
Well,
that.
I'd build it back could.
That's what I'm figuring. And seeing this block looking that good a shape, I figure I should be able to, even if I have to swap the crank out.
Well, I got a ridge reamer in there. Take that ridge out of the top.
Yeah.
It fits down it. If it'll go down that small. Most of my stuff was bigger stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it will.
Yeah, it should. Well, not where I'd hope to be with it right now, but like you say, it's probably a good thing to tear it down and clean all this crap out of it.
As much crud as there was in it.
Because if it ever got to spinning over and it sucked all that trash in there, it would have done more damage than good. So.
Yeah, it's a good thing we went ahead and took it down.
Yeah. And at least it came apart. It's turning now and it came apart. So let's see if we can get him to turn a full rotation. So
All right.
in order to do that, we need to go around until the middle pistons come back up.
Pistons come back up, yeah.
Why is it still so hard to turn?
There's probably a little bit of something in the rings on them too. On number 3 in here, we'll have to get it down and see.
Yeah, 3 is going to be our problem cylinder, I believe. Which, like I say, with that intake, it's hard to tell because one port feeds both back cylinders. I know. I'm trying to get my bar on that situated.
Yeah, that's coming up past them other rusty spots.
Well, maybe it is 1 and 4 because 2 and 3 looks pretty clean.
Yeah. I believe they was all the way up in the valves. Was probably all the way closed on them two.
Probably.
Yeah, them 1 and 3, 1 and 4 needs to be honed just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I need to get some more WD-40 because that's one of the best things to spray on them to prevent rust.
Yeah.
I can get that out at the dollar store. So I'll go get me some of that here in a little while. Whew. A lot of work for 65 horsepower.
Yeah, but
67.
just think what it'd be worth more with that in it than it would with it.
Yeah, it should be because you don't find these. I looked up on YouTube trying to find videos and I found very few of the 1300s with the original engine in them. A lot of them, most people want to swap them out and put I forget what it is. It's a 2.0 overhead cam. I forget what it's called, but which is a Japanese engine, or put the KA24DE in it, or something like that, out of a 200 SX or 240 SX. You know, because you can get a lot more power out of those.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but it needs its own uniqueness.
yeah. Well, I mean, to me, I'd like to have it running like this because, like you say, how many
of them you gonna find
1300s are still driving on this original engine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ought to go right back if I peck it a little bit. Well, or not. Need a socket or something that'll fit on it. There we go.
Yeah, you don't beat on the edges of it.
Right. That's why I was just kind of pecking, hoping it would turn loose. But is that the right one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's working now. Let's put it back on there.
All right. I believe you need to clean a little.
Might need to do a little cleaning first, because that definitely doesn't look good in there. And I have the stuff to do a valve job, so it's going to get a valve job and a thorough cleaning before it goes back on there. And I guess I'll have to get a gasket set for it.
Yeah.
That little sucker's heavy. It's
Yep.
a cast iron head.
Yeah.
I'm used
That's different from them aluminum ones.
I'm used to the aluminum heads.
Yeah.
That thing pretty solid.
I think clean them 2 cylinders up a little bit
Yeah.
and should be able to turn it with a 1/2-inch ratchet.
Yeah.
Like I say, I believe I'd go ahead and,
Well, I got it down this far. Everything needs to be cleaned, and
you know it's full of crud all the way down through there.
Yeah.
So it just needs to come on out.